It's TheGearTester here, and welcome to my initial impressions video on the Smith & Wesson SD40 VE. This seems like a relatively well-manufactured pistol. Smith & Wesson always does a great job on fit and finish. And I really like the stainless steel slide and the black grip. I think that looks quite handsome. I don't normally like 40 caliber pistols, 40 Smith & Wesson. I had a Glock 27 a number of years ago, and I just did not care for the increased impulse from the 40 caliber, but I figured I would give it a try here. Comes with 2 magazines, and it's going to cost around $350, maybe a little bit more than that with tax, which means that for a double stack pistol that has 14 rounds in it, that's pretty amazing. I've done a little bit of shooting in this gun, and I've had a few little problems with it. I've had a hard time getting on target relatively quickly with the gun, and I have, so between shots I'm having more time in between shots, and I don't like that. So some of that's the Smith & Wesson 40 caliber, and some of that maybe is this gun. So I'm trying to figure out that. I'm going to shoot this gun more, and you guys will see more footage either in range reports or in a full review, which I do on this pistol. I'm running a DeSantis holster here for this gun that allows you to carry either cross draw or strong side, which I like options. And so trying this holster out, seeing how I like it with this gun, and just trying to figure out how I feel about this particular pistol, the SD40 VE. They also make the SD9 VE. The VE there stands for Value Enhanced, which is, I think, what they're trying to achieve. Last week I was in a gun store, a local firearms store that I frequent regularly, and one of the individuals was talking to me about pistols, one of the store employees, and he mentioned that he had the Smith & Wesson SD9 and that it was just like a Glock. And I didn't correct him. There's a reason why pistols are cheaper and more expensive, and I think many people have decided that as long as it has a polymer grip, okay, like a Glock, it is a Glock. And I've had some recent difficulties with my Smith & Wesson Shield, and I have worked on that. I think I've fixed those. But it was a good reminder to me that just because a pistol has a polymer grip, it does not necessarily mean that it have the engineering and simplicity that Gaston Glock engineered into the first Glock 17. And so there's a reason why Smith & Wesson is putting Value Enhanced on the slide there. It's something to consider and think about. There's probably a reason why it's cheaper. Does that mean it's a bad pistol? No, but I get a little bit worried when people start thinking, oh, it's just as good. If you really want a Glock, save up your money. Don't be the stingy man that pays the most. I have access to these firearms. I have money that I'm choosing to spend out of my family's budget to purchase firearms, to sell firearms. I enjoy that process. But if you are thinking about getting one handgun and you have limited resources, okay, then maybe you want to save your money and spend the $550 or so, the $200 more for a Glock, just something to think about. And then I'm always wondering when people are talking about saving money, when they decide to get a 40 caliber handgun, okay, 40 Smith & Wesson, it's like, the money that you would have saved by shooting 9mm in the end probably would have meant the 9mm was better for you, depending on how much you're going to shoot. And if you're not going to shoot a lot, then why are you getting 40? Because 40 Smith & Wesson is an expert's gun. We're seeing a number of law enforcement agencies going from the 40 to the 9mm, okay, in the last year or so. And I think we're going to see more agencies doing that, simply because 9mm, if we're really using quality hollow points, there's not a lot of difference between 40 and 9mm. But I wanted to review the Smith & Wesson SD40, see what it's like, and that's what I'm going to be doing here in the next couple weeks. If you like this video, if you got questions about the M&P Shield, the Glock 19, the SD40 VE, leave a comment down below. I have a number of other videos up, other reviews on these firearms and other excellent guns. My goal is to produce quality video reviews on the topics of shooting, camping, and survival gear. This is TheGearTester signing off. It's TheGearTester here, and welcome to my initial impressions video on the Smith & Wesson SD40 VE. It seems like a relatively well manufactured pistol. Smith & Wesson always does a great job on fit and finish. And I really like the stainless steel slide and the black grip. I think that looks quite handsome. I don't normally